Yo, what is up everybody? We are packing up and getting ready to go to Utah so we can hit the Tushars 100K. It is a mountainous 100K that has over 16,000 feet of elevation gain. Where it starts, it's at 10,000 feet above sea level, and it averages around that. I think the highest peak is around 12 to 14,000 feet above sea level. So we're going to be dealing with altitude, and the heat is actually going to be pretty bad. Down in the city where this actual 100K is, it's going to be about 90, and then up in the mountains it'll be about 75. So there's going to be some really hot direct sunlight. So I've been shifting what I'm actually carrying for this 100K based on the heat training that I've been doing. So I'm very glad that I've been doing heat training just to try to help acclimatize to this, altitude, but now it's going to help with the actual heat also. So I'm glad I've been doing this training because I'm used to running in the heat, dealing with direct sunlight. So I'm going to be completely covered with what I wear, and then I'm going to be carrying a lot more extra nutrition than I usually do for these 100-milers. This is also a great opportunity for me to test out some new drink mix that I've been using in training on a longer run. My longest training run leading up to this 100K was about 27 to 30 miles. So I have tested a lot of this nutrition out on some long runs, but nothing over like 50 miles, which is perfect because I want to test out this nutrition. I want to test out this full loadout because this is exactly what I'm going to be wearing for the Grindstone 100 as long as everything works out. So this is a great opportunity for me to test everything that I'll be wearing in my kit. So let's jump right into it and let's go over the kit. This is my tried and true. I always go back to this stupid kit. It's the 2019 version of the Advance Skin 5. And I've tried so many other packs. I've tried, Ultraspire. I tried other Salomon vests. I tried so many other vests, and it always end up wearing this vest because it has never let me down. It has so much storage. I did do some altering to it. I took out the back weather lining that they have in the back because my back was like getting so hot and sweaty. So I cut that out, but it's basically unaltered, and this is definitely my favorite vest. The one attachment that I did put onto it is the Quiver. I finally got one of these. These are always sold out online for my hiking poles. So I'll be able to just kind of jam them back in there. But this is the vest that I'm going to be rocking with this attachment. It just attaches to those little hooks and on the bottom right there. So that's going to be my main loadout. I will also be wearing the John G half tights, and they have these awesome long deep pockets. So I'll be carrying my phone not on my vest, but actually on my person in those shorts. So let's start off with our nutrition. I'm going to be carrying 4 freaking bottles at a time. Usually I might only have to, depending on how hot it is and how much I'm sweating, I might be actually only utilizing 3 of them at a time, but I'm going to have 4 bottles total, especially starting off. How I'll have it set up is I will have 1 bottle of Maurten. This is the 320 Maurten that I've been actually testing. 1 bottle of Maurten on my left side, right in this pocket. And then I'll have a clean water right here. And this is just because I sweat so much. So for every hour that I'm going to be out there, I'm going to be trying to get that drink mix of the 320 and then a full clean bottle of water. So it ends up being almost a liter of water an hour because I sweat so freaking much. So I'll have 2 bottles up front. And then I'm going to also be, and this is what I've been testing, is 2 bottles in the back. So then I can just swap them in and out. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to actually carry all these bottles, but with this vest, it does distribute the weight quite well. I have the 2 on the side there and then 2 up front. As I drink through these, I'll just pretty much swap them out as I go from hour to hour during the actual race. I will also be carrying at least 1 or 2 of these packets on me at all times, just in case I miss a drop bag or something happens where I'm not able to access any more nutrition in the next aid station. So I always make sure that I carry at least 1 or 2 of these on my person, just in case a drop bag gets lost, because in Vermont 100, a drop bag, or one of the most critical drop bag locations, when it was the hottest in the day, it was just not there. So I was absolutely screwed, but I had some drink mix in my pack and I was able to crawl my way to the next aid station and replenish my actual nutrition. So that has always helped me in the past. So I'll have these in the side right here also. And then my other source of nutrition, which I will have, will be these honey stinger waffles. I'll probably only carry one of these honey stinger waffles on me during the race, just because those drink mix, the Maurten 320 drink mix, it's quite a lot of carbs. I think you get about 80 grams of carbs per pack. From the testing that I've been doing, my stomach really can handle like quite a bit of carbs and I'm like, I'm a sweaty, hungry runner. So I can usually take in around 90 to 100 carbs an hour without any GI distress. The things that really like upset my stomach are like greasy food and greasy things, and then sour things that really upset my stomach. But I can put in quite a lot of calories without having any GI distress. So I'm going to try to be getting around 90 to 100 grams of carbs an hour, which is quite a lot, but it has been working quite a bit in the training that I've been doing, especially when it's really hot and my body is working the entire time I'm running just to cool down. Even if I'm going at a zone 1, zone 2, my body's still working really hard just to try to cool itself and not freak the fuck out because of the hot water. And it's because of the hot weather. And it's going to be the same in Utah because, it's going to be pretty hot. It's not going to be as humid, but then I'm also going to be having to deal with altitude. So it's a double whammy, and I'm going to be making sure that my body has a lot of carbs to run off of. Now, if my stomach starts getting sour or anything like that, I'll have Tailwind in my drop bags. So then I can swap from the Maurten if it's a little bit too much for my stomach and go back to the tried and true Tailwind that I've used on multiple ultra marathons. Another thing that I'm going to be carrying is my little pill pack. I'll have about 3 hours of electrolytes and then some emergency Tylenol that I always have in these little pill packs. The Maurten gel or the Maurten drink mix. So the Maurten drink mix only has about 200 grams of electrolytes in there and sodium in there. So I have to kind of up that by taking these pills with the Maurten. It's a lot of carbs, but then it has way less electrolytes than Tailwind. So I'm making sure that I take about 4 of these pills an hour, because for how much I sweat, I need about 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium and all those other electrolytes just to stay right, because I'm such a salty freaking sweater. So I will have these in this pocket. What I'll be ingesting almost every hour is a bottle of Maurten 320 mix, 1 bottle of clean water. I will have 4 salt, and then depending on how I feel, I'll either eat a half of this or a full one every hour. I'll probably bounce back and forth just depending on how I'm actually feeling. So this is kind of like a floater to be in my actual kit. And I'll probably have like 1 or 2 of these in my kit as well. So that's all my nutrition fully loaded out. So let's move on to like the kind of bigger things and the required gear. I'll have my trekking poles. These are the Black Diamond Distance Carbon Z's. These are super awesome, super light. It barely even feels like anything's on your back. So I'll just have these in my quick quiver right. And another thing that this race requires is having an emergency blanket. So I'll have this just in the back. And another piece of required gear is a rain jacket. Now this rain jacket is a huge one that I just got from the military. So I'll probably go out and try to get a little bit lighter rain jacket while I'm up in Utah, just because I don't want to like carry it on and go shopping and all that crap. So I'll probably have a little bit lighter rain jacket, but this is also a required gear list on the Tushars 100K. So what I'll typically do is shove that in the back all the way to the bottom, so then it's not really like going on the middle of my back and heating me up too much. Another thing that I'll be carrying, and this is the last item that I'll be carrying, is my Insta360 camera. So I'll have this to try to get some, I'll say this, try to get some gear or try to get some shots while I'm out there. No promises, because a lot of times when I'm actually out there, I end up feeling like shit and then don't record anything. But I will make the biggest effort to actually get some stuff recorded. So there's the full loadout, and here's what it'll look like on my body. All right, so that was kind of awkward, but this is the full loadout that I will be rocking during the Tushars 100K. Hopefully I'll have everything I need. I'll have some drop bags, and then my crew will have access to me, I think only 1 or 2 times. They had a couple more crew stations, but they actually got closed down because some of the gates were actually closed on course, and there was some like snow problems on the road. So the crew access is very limited, and I'll have to probably rely a lot on drop bags, which I'm completely fine with. I just kind of feel bad that I have to have my friend out there all day for kind of no reason. But, you know, I'll have the drop bags. I ran the whole Vermont 100 only on drop bags. I ran that completely solo, no pacers, no crew, no anything. And I'm really used to that. I actually feel like I'm a little bit more efficient and effective when I don't have a crew, because I just grab my bag and then try to get out of there. So I'm getting very excited, getting very rattle-brained, because my body's kind of starting to ramp up. The taper's going crazy, so I have all this extra energy. So I'm going to try to get enough sleep, get enough food, get the legs woken up, and get the legs woken up. I got a couple runs to do to wake up the legs so they can come out of taper and actually hit this 100K properly. But other than that, that's everything that I'm going to be wearing in my kit for the Tushars 100K. Make sure you get out there, chip away, become an average savage. Do not fear fear. If you're worried, if you're anxious before your race, that's good. That's awesome. That's what you want after every race. The last thing that you want to do is be completely calm, just like have no fear, like, oh, another day in the office. Like, fuck that, dude. Always go for the fear. Always go for something that you're not 100% sure on, because that's where you grow, in that pain, in that suffering, in that chipping away. That's where we become better. That's where we get to the next fucking level. And that's where we become average savages. So let's get out there. Let's kick this fucking 100K's ass. And let's get back into motherfucking training so we can kick fucking Grindstone's ass also. Let's go. Let's get it. Become an average savage. Let's go.